Welcome to Madlit Musings, the podcast where you get to eavesdrop on your favorite authors without getting caught. I've been stoked to have authors like Angela Hunt, Bill Myers, Nicole Deese, Tessa Afshar, comedian Bob Smiley, and more on the show, and this year I have another great lineup of storytellers and truth-sayers. If you love to eavesdrop at coffee shops like I do, this is the podcast for you. It's where we get real, we get tough, we laugh, and we might even cry. It's where we meet authors on a different level, where every story and podcast episode has its own heartbeat. So hang out with me today. I'm Jaime Jill Wright, your host at Madlit Musings. This is your podcast for real chats with real authors about real life. Hey everyone, it is Jaime Jill Wright here at Madlit, and I'm really excited today because this one is going to be a little bit different because I have with me Taylor S. Newport. Hey Taylor, you can say hi. And she and I are actually co-authors in an anthology collection that has come out this August called Secrets Along the Shore. There's two other authors that are also included in this collection, D.L. Wood and Julia Blythe, I believe. Might have to have that name right. I've got to think about it again because some of you all are new to me as well. So let me double check that. Along the shore. I should know this before. I was right. Julia Blythe. There we go. But today Taylor has joined me and we wanted to talk about the collection just so that all of you who are readers and are listening in kind of know how these anthologies work. Like we're starting to see more and more of them come out and what they're about, and they seem like to be collections. And so we thought we'd just get on today and talk about each of our contributions and what this collection is all about. But first, Taylor, tell us a little bit about you because you've already got some books under your belt. And you're an active published author. So tell us a little bit about your books and what you've written up to this point.
So I write action thrillers. It's kind of like a combination of Jason Bourne and Black Widow.
Okay.
It's a long series. I'm hoping about 20 books. And it follows the same lead characters, but like the side characters also stay the same.
Okay. So there's stories that people can read and then really invest in and there's two out right now?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have another one coming out in 2026, if I'm not
Hoping
wrong.
for two out, but yeah.
Two out. Okay,
sure.
There we go. So you're trying to shoot for 2 a year in the series?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about that series because I'm sure readers are already going, ooh, Black Widow and Jason Bourne together in a series or something similar. What's that about?
So, it's kind of just a group of different people from different backgrounds that basically find themselves taking on jobs to rescue people in dangerous situations.
Mm-hmm.
The leads are former SAS operator Tyler Reed. He's now a mercenary. And he's kind of a lone wolf, and he's got kind of a mysterious past. And then the main female character, her name is Alexandra Romanova.
Okay.
She is a Russian heiress, but also she has been trained as an assassin by her captors.
Okay.
So they, like I said, different interesting backgrounds. So and they start teaming up to rescue people.
Okay. That's pretty cool. So where did you first start dreaming up that combination? Like what inspired you to write those?
I don't know.
Just an overactive imagination?
Yeah. I've always liked military fiction, so I'm certain I wanted the main male character to be former military.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
That's awesome.
Also, I think that like with the female character being Russian, I thought that I guess like that old like the Romanov family in history.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of like interests me. I did some research on that.
Okay.
So she may or may not be connected to them.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, that's always a fun piece of history. I shouldn't say fun. That's just really rude considering what the Romanovs went through. But it's an intriguing piece of history, to be sure, when you dig into it. And there's all kinds of conspiracy theories and such that go with it. So your heroine may or may not. That is the mystery. Be involved with the Romanov history. That's awesome. Okay, and so then you get asked by Lisa Phillips to be a part of an anthology, a summer thriller anthology, which is a collection of 4 books under the title Secrets Along the Shore. And we've got Julia joining us mid-podcast. We'll see if she can join in here. But introducing the Secrets Along the Shore, the beach read thrillers. These are 4 stories. So they're not novellas either. They're actual books, which is something I've had several readers of mine asking, like, are they short stories? And I would say they're probably about the size of a love-inspired suspense book, kind of that 55 to 65,000 word book. And so, Taylor, tell us a little bit about your story that's in this collection.
So my story is actually the prequel to the series.
Okay.
So that one's probably has a little more military vibes, I think.
Okay.
As it just has the main male character, Tyler Reed, in it. So my dog's trying to play with me.
That's all right. Pets are always welcome on the podcast.
You want to be seen?
Want to be seen? Oh, there's the puppy.
Okay.
He's done.
Lost my thought. So he has just been discharged from the Australian military due to injuries, and he's just trying to figure out like what he should do in life. He's always kind of lived for being in the military and fighting, and so after his discharge, he's just kind of living off on his own, trying to figure things out. Mm-hmm. Then his one of his friends, or his mates as he calls him because he's Australian.
Australian, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. His daughter's missing, so Tyler has been known to rescue a lot of people, so he goes on a mission to rescue his friend's daughter.
Okay. All right. And so this is really the prequel to the series we were just talking about.
Yep.
So a perfect reason to get this collection, if for no other reason, is to read Taylor's prequel, because it sets it up for the other 2 books that you already have out, and then the other 2 that are coming out in 2026, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay. So I have to ask you just a little bit, how do you know so much about these? I'm always afraid to write like military fiction and military things and crime. How do you know so much about crime, Taylor?
I don't know like much about like crime necessarily, but like the military piece. I've read a lot of Ronnie Kendick's books.
Okay.
You know, she has a lot of military sources. I don't have any. I just read her books, and that's why I don't write like specifically military fiction, just because I only can get so much information. Mm-hmm. So I just have military characters, but not like in a military setting.
Gotcha. So they've got the past and they're bringing that into their current expertise. So
yeah.
What makes the difference? If I were to ask you, what is the difference between a thriller and romantic suspense? Because I think that's a key difference we should say about this collection, because this collection is considered a thriller collection. So how would you describe that?
I'd say that there's a lot less romance. And mine actually has none.
Yeah.
And I think things just are a little more action-packed, maybe. Mm-hmm. It's more focused on, probably a little bit more focused on the plot, I would think.
Okay.
A little bit.
I would agree with how you're explaining that. Definitely less romance. My story has no romance either. There is a male and a female lead, but they're not like exploring anything relationally. It's more their interaction. Would you say that's similar to yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually have 3 point of views, but
do you really?
Yeah.
Okay, so whose points of views do we get in the story?
So Tyler's obviously, and then the woman who's been, she's not like kidnapped, but she's held prisoner more of by a man. Her name's Alara. I think it's pronounced Atkinson.
Okay.
I should really check to see how to actually pronounce these names I choose. And then I have the woman that Tyler's working for. He's working with her team to help
Okay.
rescue Alara.
Okay. That's awesome.
So,
Is your writing in first person or third person?
third person. Yeah, I
Third
prefer
person.
that point of view, but
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. So the one that I wrote, so your book is called Survival Mode, and that's the
mm-hmm.
story that's included in the anthology Secrets Along the Shore. Um, then the one that I am contributing to it is called The Ones I Left to Die. And that one I actually tried for the first time to write first person. I usually write third person, just like you, Taylor. But I decided I wanted to get into the mind of the protagonist and kind of see her world through her eyes. So her story, her name is Noah Lorne, and her story is essentially that she was abducted 10 years prior, and she was taken captive. And she was taken captive by a serial kidnapper and serial homicide offender. And essentially, he's been dubbed the name the Serpent Killer. And he's had 2 victims that they found. And then Noah, was supposed to be his third. And he tried to kill her, thought she was dead, but she was not. And she escaped. And so it's 10 years later, and she's pretty much blocked out her memory. The trauma has blocked out most of the memories. So she can't be much help in solving the cold case. And the only thing she knows is that she has this awful guilt that she left behind others that she knew were still held captive, and she could do nothing to save them. So she's kind of just living her life trying to survive, and suddenly it seems like the serpent killer might be back when they discover another victim. And she kind of gets thrust into trying to remember, trying to help figure out if this case is connected to hers, and trying to, oh, you like the story. The puppy likes the story.
uh,
Oh, so that's my contribution. So I
it's
thought
really interesting.
yeah, it was kind of fun. It's fun to do first person, and it was challenging. But it actually is the first, it's a little bit like yours. It's like the first beginning to a series that's coming out. I'm hoping to release the next book in the series next year, of the Noah Lorne mysteries, essentially. And you'll be tracking her journey to find out what happened to her past and catch this killer over the course of several books, and potentially meet new victims and all that fun stuff. So there's lots of mystery being set up in this story. So
That was really cool.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun to write. I was trying not to get too sadistic because I had to do a lot of research on serial killers, and that's always a deep, dark vortex of danger. So I don't recommend diving in too deep into the mind of a serial killer. It's really creepy.
I'm sure.
I'm like, wow, you guys are dark. So it's not cool. So I think at this point, why don't I read the titles and the back covers of the stories that are in this anthology so our readers can learn more about them? What do you think? Do you think that's a good idea, Taylor?
That's good.
All right. So I will start with those who are not on this call with us, because Julia tried to join, but she is overseas at England at the moment, and she's walking around Stonehenge. So I guess we can give her some grace for not making an appearance on the podcast today. But her story is called The Girl Between Us. And this is what Julia's story is about. Typically, strong friendships never develop between a local and a summer girl, especially a summer girl from the school for the deaf. But that's just what happens when Scarlett McBride is chosen every summer to spend July 4th week at the school headmaster's lake lodge. Surprisingly, the headmaster has left her the lodge in his will. And 15 years later, since her last summer at the lake, Scarlett returns with plans to sell the house, but learns her old summer friend Becca Bishop still resides across the water. They had once been inseparable until the night Becca's little sister drowned. That's when all fingers pointed at the outsider as the one to blame. And Scarlett was never chosen again until now. That one sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's in the collection. The next one in the collection is by D.L. Wood, who I'm good friends with, and she was unable to join us today too. But she is an experienced author who writes some of the most amazing stories. I don't know if you've had a chance to read any of hers, Taylor.
I think I've read some like samples, but I haven't actually bought any yet.
Yeah. DL, she writes really amazing stories, and I would classify them as the thriller type. Some of them are kind of like, I want to kind of say they're kind of like Agatha Christie meets Knives Out. They're mysterious, sophisticated mysteries. And so the one that she's included in this anthology is called All That Lies Beneath. And this is what her story is about. The case was closed until another body turned up. Private investigator Sophie Walsh thought the nightmare was over when a conviction finally came in the Perfect Princess serial killings. But when another young woman is found murdered with the same chilling signature, the certainty shatters. As whispers of a copycat partner or devastating mistake surface, Sophie races to uncover the truth. Did they convict the right man, or is the real killer still watching and ready to strike again? Set in a small southern town with secrets as deep as the Tennessee River, All That Lies Beneath delivers gripping suspense with twists you won't see coming. Dun, dun, dun. And then we have yours, Taylor. I'm going to read yours now. Yours is called Survival Mode by Taylor S. Newport. Medically discharged from the Australian SAS, Tyler Reed struggles to adjust to life as a civilian. When an old friend offers him a high-risk mission to rescue a woman and her son from a ruthless crime boss, Tyler can't refuse. The assignment is deadly, the enemy relentless, and Tyler's new teammates are strangers. Can he trust them? As he fights off the enemy, the stakes rise with every move, testing his limits and pushing him to his breaking point. In a world where survival depends on split-second choices, failure is not an option. Ooh, I like that last line. That's some tension right there. Like, in other words, you can't fail. It's just not an option. It reminds me of, sorry, I'm totally segueing here and squirreling, but there's a climber. His name is Alex Honnold, and he is one of the world's best rock climbers that's out there. And he has a documentary that filmed him climbing Yosemite with no anchors, no ropes, no harness, nothing. So you're talking thousands of feet in the air. Literally, failure is not an option.
Wow, that's
Because
terrifying.
one slip in, he's just free falling to the earth and certain death. And so the whole documentary is him prepping for this climb, scoping out the routes, and you get to the point where he's climbing, and it's like it's a documentary, and I know he doesn't fall because there's more stuff that comes later in his life that I already know he's done, but you're still watching it, biting your fingernails, because you're like, it's so strange to be in a situation where you literally have no choice. You cannot fail. You just can't fail. So you put that tension in the last line of your book. And my heart's already pounding. Boom, 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 boom. All right. And then there's mine, which is The Ones I Left to Die. A decade before, Noel Lorne escaped the sadistic clutches of the serpent, a serial killer known by the telltale mark he carved into the necks of his victims. She has learned to live being the only known survivor, but her recollection is sketchy and her desire to relive the trauma non-existent. But now a new victim has been discovered, and it seems the serpent has returned. With a detective from the Cold Case Division desperate to connect the dots, Noah concedes that to find the serpent, she must remember them, the other victims, the ones she left behind to die. So, those are the 4 stories that are included in the Summer Beach Reads Thriller Collection, Secrets Along the Shore. They include stories from Taylor S. Newport, who's joined me today, myself, D.L. Wood, and Julia Blythe. And stay tuned for another episode of Mad Lit Musings, because we will be featuring the second edition of this Beach Thrillers collection, which is called Secrets Beneath the Waves. And that one will have 4 more authors that we'll be featuring on the podcast. So you'll want to catch that episode as well. But Taylor, thank you so much for being a part of this today. It's fun to chit chat about what we've got coming out. And I'm so thrilled to be in a collection with you. I think this is such a fun thing to celebrate together.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap for today here at Madlet Musings. I hope you join us again. And if you want to, be sure you like and subscribe here at your favorite podcast player or on YouTube, because you won't want to miss all the wonderful alerts that let you know when we have another conversation for you to eavesdrop on.